Reason number one Charizard EX is so good is because it has 330 HP. It's a big Pokemon. There's not that many Pokemon in format that are bigger than that. Venusaur EX comes to mind. I think it has 340 HP. But Charizard EX is tough to knock out. Secondly, deck search. This thing has a lot of deck search, man. You got Forest Seal Stone, you got Lumineon that you can slap down and search for any supporter card, and then Pidgeot EX. That card is broken. How Pokemon got away with adding a card in format, even though it's stage 2, that can search the deck every single turn. Like, that's just broken. It's broken, right? I don't know. I don't get like how they could do that. Whatever. Energy acceleration. Now, mostly this is coming from Infernal Rain, which is Charizard's ability, which is when you evolve into Charizard EX, you can search your deck for 3 fire energy and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. Pretty good. Pretty good. Sniping. So sniping is the ability of a card to put damage counters on another card while that card's not in the active. I know it sounds confusing, but Dusclops, Dusk Noir, great for sniping. And they have one other advantage too. By the way, I'll get to that later. That's coming up a little bit later. But those 2 cards are great for sniping right now. Draw acceleration. I feel like this is a strength, but also a weakness of this deck. I'll get into that a little bit later too. Right now, our draw acceleration cards are Cleffa, Rotom V, Bezendipity EX. Not too bad there. Protection. It doesn't have a lot of protection, but what it does have is Flame Veil with Charmeleon built in. It's nice, but it's kind of niche. It's not going to come up that much, right? The damage multiplier. Damage multiplier on Burning Darkness. 180 plus 30 more damage for every prize card that's been taken by your opponent. That is nuts. That's so much damage right there. Hand Disruption. Unfair Stamp. Iono. Iono is also good at resetting your hand, but Unfair Stamp can be crippling when played at the right time. You get 5 cards, your opponent gets 2. Man, that can really take the momentum out of your opponent's game. Just so hard to come back from. Recovery. Recovery comes with like Super Rod, Night Stretcher. Very good in this deck. You could Night Stretcher a Charizard back into your hand. You could Super Rod some energy back in deck. Good stuff. Gust. You know, the 2 old reliables right now in format, Boss's Orders and Counter Catcher. So good. You can really manipulate the use of Counter Catcher with the Dusclops and the Dusk Noir. You know, put your opponent up in prizes, use Counter Catcher, do some shenanigans there. It's a fun time, right? Charizard really is a fun deck. It's just, it's so meta. People hate it. And I don't understand, but I like it. Now, prize denial. This is where Charizard really shines with Collapse Stadium, allowing you to get rid of a 2 prize liability like a Lumineon or a Rotom V. A damaged Charizard, get it off the bench. Turo. Professor Turo. You know, Turo will let you pick up a Charizard, by the way, and discard the energy and such. Not too shabby. This is the deck we're talking about, by the way. Here we go. This guy right here, Turo. Thornton. Thornton can be used for a little bit of prize denial. It's very specific. It's a basic for a basic. Turns in play stay the same, right? Very important. So you can swap out a Rotom V or Lumineon V for another Charmander, and as long as it's been down for a turn previously, you can evolve it. Like, that's really cool. That can come in handy. Prize acceleration is a new one for me. So accelerating your opponent's prizes and accelerating your own prizes with Charizard prize manipulation is a must. You got to get in there. The Dusclops Dusk Noir play, not only does it put you behind in prize cards, it powers up Charizard at the same time. So good. And then Briar is so specific. Your opponent has to have 2 prize cards left. You have to get the knockout with a Terra Pokemon, and you can take 1 more prize card after you play it, right? It's kind of hard to set up, but with Dusclops and Dusknoir and Charizard in there, like, it's easier to set up. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get it every game, right? I've probably been able to Briar like twice since I started playing Charizard, and it's been, like I said, it's been few and far between, right? It's been tough. Weaknesses. Now, we were just talking about a few weaknesses here. Some of these were the draw acceleration for Charizard, right? It depends on Rotom V, which ends your turn after you draw 3 cards. Cleffa, which only lets you draw up to 7 cards in your hand, ends your turn again. Or Pheasantipity EX, which only allows you to draw after you've had a Pokemon knocked out. Iono lets you reset your hand, but there's not a lot of help in the draw area. Sure, once you get Pidgeot EX set up, yeah, you can get whatever card you want. Whatever. There's lots of 2 prize liabilities in this deck. Pheasantipity EX, Rotom V, Lumineon V. That's 6 prize cards right there. Easily knocked out. That 210 HP is so easy to knock out in the format right now. It's also item heavy. With Badoo in format now, it's something we have to think about. Badoo can come in here, can keep you from playing Buddy Poffin, Rare Candy, keep you from getting, you know, your evolutions in play, your items, and setting up your bench. It can be very disruptive to the entire thing. Very disruptive. So, with that said, what are we testing right now for after rotation? I'm looking into using TM Evolution, Tatsugiri, more energy, energy search. You know, this is the deck that we're looking at right here with Tatsugiri, trying to help get to a supporter card, playing more Pidgeotto in here. Just seeing how well this plays. We got 2 TM Evolution, so we can make sure we get one. Highly unlikely they're both prized, right? But we do need to get things evolved quickly. Fair Step, of course, is still in here. Didn't change up the items too much. I think just adding the 2 TM Evos in here and adding an extra energy here. Oh, and the Earthen Vessel to search for energy so that we can try to get this TM Evolution play off first turn, going second, using Arven, you know, trying to get set up. We'll see. We're still testing it, but I'm going to be very excited to see what comes next for Charizard. I don't think it's going to go away. I think it's going to stay one of the top decks in format even after rotation. There's still a lot of really good pieces in there. Sure, we're losing Radianzard, for instance. You could easily replace that with Ursaluna EX. It's a 2 prizer, but you could if you just want to do that. You know, so I don't think there's too many hurdles, but I do think we have to worry about the item lock situation. So that's my deck on decks, and this is just going to be a series that I do with some meta decks, break them down, and see what we can figure out about these decks so that we can get better at building our own decks. I'd love for you to watch another one of my videos if you could. That's my ask. I'm not asking for a like or a subscribe, anything like that. Just watch another video for mine if you don't mind. So let me know what you think also in the comments. I probably just said I wasn't going to ask that, but I do love answering comments. And if there's a deck you want me to try to break down next, let me know. I'd love to. Have a good night. Again, this is PokeSteve with Blast TCG. Thank you for playing, and I'll see you next time.